just got to create and put the stuff out there. Done is better than idea in your head. And I have to keep telling myself that because I
Mm.
get ideas on a daily basis. No one's going to deliver it like you will. Get out there and make something and enjoy the opportunities and the connections it will bring you. I do have the propensity to procrastinate, especially if I haven't got things to do or things that excite me. So I like to put myself under pressure and I like to say, I'm going to do this now. I'm going to start this and just start things going because that's where you get the feedback, where you see if an idea is working or not. And if something doesn't work, then just let it go.
Hello and welcome to the Confident Live Marketing Show. My name is Ian Anderson Gray, and in this episode, we're talking about confidence and communication. I'm very excited to bring back onto the show Mike Russell, who is founder of Creator Magic and is a YouTuber with a channel on AI tools for content creators. He's also an Adobe certified professional, and at Music Radio Creative, he innovates as creative director, blending AI with creativity. You can tune into his channel for more up-to-date AI insights. Welcome back, Mike. How are you doing?
It's cool to be back in the hot seat. I don't know if this will be harder or easier than talking about equipment for content creation, because you can ask me a lot of questions about how I got started, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Because I think we talked about gear and your studio last time, but I think often what stops people is it's getting in front of the camera. It's pressing that go live button, or whether it's live or whether it's just pressing record. It's that kind of scary side of things. And yeah, so for people who didn't listen to you last time, just a brief introduction about you, highlighting your background and your content creation journey.
Yeah, so I'm Mike. I started out working in radio as an on-air host, as a producer, pretty much doing every job that was available. And then probably just over a decade ago now, I discovered podcasts. I started as a listener and thought they were amazing. Then I got into podcasting in a big way, started Music Radio Creative, a company still here today that's serving content creators, podcasters, YouTubers, radio stations, DJs, you name it, with making what they need for audio. And my huge step into content creation was 2009, 2010, when I started my YouTube channel. And I have not looked back. YouTube has been very good to me. And in fact, as you rightly mentioned in the intro, I've just recently started a brand new channel. And I am surprised and impressed at how kind YouTube are to brand new creators. Obviously, I built my main channel up to over 300,000 subscribers, but the new one just has a few thousand at the moment. But it's incredible the encouragement that YouTube Studio gives you all along the way, celebrating your milestones. It's nice after content creating for over a decade to get back in the seat of being a brand new creator. And hopefully I can learn from my mistakes. I'm not coming in brand new and fresh, but I can say, that didn't quite work on my old channel. Let's do it this way on my new one.
Definitely, yeah. And just to say, the intro and outro of the show are done by Music Radio Creative, so thank you for that. So, Mike, you set up your YouTube channel a long time ago. I think you said 2010-ish. And so, can you remember back in those days, like what was it like getting in front of the camera? Before that, you did a lot of radio work, so getting in front of the microphone was maybe a scary experience. But there's something about putting your face in front of the camera that can be problematic. And I know that you mentioned about remembering things and you had to do lots and lots of takes and put them all together because you're finding it difficult to remember everything that you want to say. And I'm exactly like that. What was it like in those early days back in 2010?
It was really interesting. And like you say, I had the right, in terms of confidence in front of the microphone, I had a bit of practice at it. That came fairly naturally. Now, there is a little piece of the puzzle that's missing from this story. From day one, I did not go live with my face on YouTube. In fact, a lot of people talk about this today, I was a faceless YouTube channel. So it was me speaking into the microphone, showing only what was on my screen. And my very first tutorial, which you'll see if you go and see my channel and sort by oldest videos, were my favorite effects for creating radio idents in Adobe Audition. And I just started out. It must have been a 5-minute video where I was showing 2 or 3 different cool effects. And I was just hey guys, go easy on me. It's my first video, but I quite like this effect. I like this effect and this effect. And it took me about maybe 2 or 3 years to actually put my face on camera. Now, thinking about it, I'd never really thought to do that. I just wanted to teach the information. So it just felt natural. I'm going to share my screen and talk about it on microphone. And it wasn't until I went to an event in America, it was actually in Las Vegas, called New Media Expo. And that was just incredible. So, this was my first time as a content creator meeting loads of other content creators. And I remember it was at that event, it must have been about 2013 when I went to this event, and I met a load of cool content creators. And some of them took a look at my YouTube channel and they said, "This is good stuff, but like, why are you not on the camera? You build a better connection with your audience. Why don't you try it?" And I was encouraged at that event to go ahead and do that because I just never thought about it. It didn't come to my mind. And so I switched the camera on and I started trying with it. And it was awful at first because like I wasn't very used to it. And in fact, actually, here's the story. Here's how it all begun. I didn't have the fancy cameras that I have now, part of my setup now. I literally used a very early model iPhone. I know now, in a sense, we've gone full circle because a lot of creators without cameras are encouraged to use their iPhones to get high 4K video because they're very good quality cameras on the iPhone. But I would just get a little mini tripod and put the iPhone at the end of my desk and talk into the iPhone and then go back to the screen share. And it was all very janky, but it got me used to being, in a sense, on the screen. And then I found it really weird that people would stop commenting on the content in my videos, such as, "Oh, that's a cool effect," to, "Why have you got a can of Red Bull on your desk?" And, "What's that thing in the background?" And I'm like, I'm trying to teach audio here. It's quite overwhelming. But the one benefit, to make this a really positive story, is that people then made the connection with me. And then when I would go to conferences in the future, and these would be relevant conferences, people who were in that space, and "You're Mike, you're the guy that teaches this on YouTube." And it was like, that was an aha moment for me. I was like, wow, this is a way to really build your presence and your brand so that you just make connections when you go to conferences. And also, I think it's good for you if, as a creator, you want to be a speaker as well. You want to go to conferences and events. I think being on the camera is a must because then these event organizers can see what your presence is like, and opportunities like that and other opportunities will come up. Who knows what might happen? But if you don't put your face out there and show who you are as a human being, and I feel that's even more important now in the age of AI. I think that's a real big strength as content creators we all have left in us. Is, yes, you can create the deep fake face and you can make the deep fake of a voice. But if you can be real and be a human in front of the camera and share your thoughts, like, I think at the moment where we are in reality, that's still an
Mm.
essential and helpful skill. I don't know, maybe AI will fully replace that. When I listened to music generated by the latest AI models and it started giving me emotions, that was my, like, "This is getting freaky" moment. Because I was like, I'm getting emotions from a computer generated piece of music. So I'm not going to say it's our unique thing forever, but right now,
Mm.
being on the camera as a real life human, I know we'll all have to do something in the future to prove that we're human in a video, right? So maybe we can only, maybe AI can't do that symbol, the live long and prosper symbol, because it gets fingers wrong, doesn't it? So it's, "Look, I'm a human. Here you go. And here's what I've got to say." So humans know that we're talking to a fellow human.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've gone all AI on you here.
No, it's really interesting. And I think we've seen we saw the rise of live video in 2016 up to 2020, 2021. And then there's been a drop in using that. People are still using it, don't get me wrong. I actually think we're going to start to see a rise again with live video because AI can't fake that. Or if it does, it's not going to do as good a job. And people, I think, are really crying out for that human connection. AI is never going to fully replace that because ultimately, as human beings, we want to connect with other human beings. And yes, there are AI tools out there that can replace some aspects of human interaction, but not to the same extent as like what we're doing at the moment. Would it be the same if this was AI Mike I was talking with? I don't think so. But that's a whole other
I
interesting.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we could go down an AI rabbit hole.
I wouldn't be happy because people want to talk with the real Mike. It's not just, I don't just want to get information from you. I want to have interactions with you. But yeah, I think I've already decided what we're going to do for season 3, which is to go down this rabbit hole. I want to talk about, though, those moments. So you were encouraged Going to these events, by the way, are amazing. Meeting other content creators, and it changed my life. I know it's changed your life. But the most must have been moments of fear or nervousness, or like those negative voices that we all tend to have in our heads, like saying, "Oh, Mike, you're no good at this. You're a complete idiot." I'm not trying to put words into your mouth. These are the things that I say to myself, or I used to say to myself. So how did you get through that? Because you've kept going. Your YouTube channel is amazing. It's very successful. You created this new one. So anything that you can share with listeners to encourage them when they're in those very difficult moments?
I know it sounds cliche, but you've just got to create and put the stuff out there. Done is better than idea in your head. And I have to keep telling myself that because I
Mm.
get ideas on a daily basis. And I know we've spoken about this before offline, try to organize them all in a nice Notion board or something like that. Or I even still use my own physical, like I've got like a pen and paper here. How traditional is that? And I write stuff down. I find that really helps me. But like, for years, I would struggle with, I spoke about in the other podcast episode about gear, with lighting. And people would call me old red face in videos because get the white balance off and I'd be all magenta. You get the odd troll who would be like, "Oh, look at you, beetroot face." It's terrible. I used to get trolled a lot on that thing. I got the content out there and I learned over time. And do you know what? Some old Mike videos with the old beetroot face, they've got tens of thousands of views. So was it a good idea to make that video and put it out there? Yeah. Some people are a little bit distracted by the fact that I didn't get the lighting right on on my face. Yes, it's cool. It helps you to develop and you will learn over time what works. It's not going to be perfect. You're not going to be great at everything. But again, in the age of AI, we can get a lot better quicker at things that we never learned at school or in college or at university. So that's a cool thing. So just create and put stuff out there. And I'm a firm believer in I do have the propensity to procrastinate, especially if I haven't got things to do or things that excite me. So I like to put myself under pressure, and I like to say, I'm gonna do this now. I'm gonna start this. I'm going to have a new podcast or whatever like that, and just start things going because that's where you get the feedback, where you see if an idea is working or not. And if something doesn't work, then it just let it go. Be as quick to let it go as you were to start it. But if something starts working, double down on it. So you mentioned I started a new YouTube channel after over 10 years creating on YouTube. I didn't know if it was going to work. It is in the AI space. I know that's a very competitive space. I know there's a lot of voices out there already. And talking about confidence on this show, I questioned myself for a long time. So this channel started in March 2024. It could easily have started back in 2023. But I kept having that fear of she's already talking about it over here and he's already doing such a great job. I'm not needed in this space. And the one thing actually my wife Isabella kept telling me is you're a unique voice. You might be talking about the same or similar things, but you are going to bring your own unique perspective to it. And that is going some people will vibe with that. I was like, all right,
Mm.
I'll start it. Look, listen, I've done enough times watching Think Media telling me, just start a YouTube channel. I was like binging on Think Media, who's epic. I love Think Media, Sean Cannell's channel. And I was like, all right. And then I was watching Mr. Beast videos thinking, he's an amazing creator. I wish I could be like him. I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it. And so I just fired some videos out there. And the channel started in what I felt to be a good direction. I was like, okay, it's time to start doing more. And I think you've also got to be quite strict on what the content you're creating. So if you find something that works, double down on it and try and template it and make it a regular thing. And if something's not working, just ditch it.
Mm.
Hopefully there's some wisdom in there somewhere.
Oh, there is, and I think we're very alike. I mean, it's. I think what I've realized is my best strategy is following my curiosity and what excites me, because then the content that I'm going to create will then, if I'm curious and excited by it, then other people are going to be like that. Not everyone, but it sounds like to me from what you were saying, there's an element of imposter syndrome, or that was a bit of a potential struggle with you. It's a problem for so many of us content creators. We compare ourselves to others and we say, "Oh, I can't possibly do that because I'm not Mr. Beast." But that very thing that you're not Mr. Beast is exactly what's going to make you successful because you're being Mike Russell. You're bringing your own take to it. And yeah, definitely check out Mike's new channel. It is so cool going down these kind of really geeky rabbit holes. But yeah, just be warned because you will probably go down those geeky rabbit holes yourself. I want to talk about personality. And I suppose this is more kind of psychological because we're all different. And some people are very shy, like the idea of getting in front of the camera fills them with dread. Have you thought about like how your personality plays a part in terms of how you turn up on camera? Would you describe yourself as extroverted, introverted, shy, or bold? Or do these things matter? How does that affect you turning up in front of the camera?
That's a really interesting question. That when I come into my space, the space that I've designed to create content, once I have an idea and I'm ready to roll with it, I find it pretty easy to just switch the camera on now after so many years of doing it and deliver because I know what I've got to do, how I've got to say it, and all the rest of that. And yeah, it's some days it's harder than others, but I think you've just got to remember, I think the key wisdom that you just mentioned there, Ian, is like no one's going to deliver it like Mike Russell and or whoever's listening to this show right now, no one's going to deliver it like you will. Get out there and make something and enjoy the opportunities and the connections it will bring you. I also very much enjoy connecting with people offline and chatting about things. I find that's actually essential, connecting with people offline out of this world, because you can get stuck in a bubble of delivering from one room and wondering if these subscribers are actually
Mm.
real people.
Yeah, definitely. And I suppose the reason I asked that is because like, I found like in my delivery, I suppose I'm more of an introvert. Like I don't particularly like boxes, but I know some content creators who are just so extrovert and bubbly in front of the camera, and I've mistakenly thought in the past I need to be more like that. And no, that's not the case. I can just be me. I can try and become more me and lean into that. But so often that is a problem. And I hear this from like audience people listening and clients that they think they can't get in front of the camera because they're too shy or introverted. And I don't think that's the case. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So I think on that, you've got to find the kind of content that you're comfortable making. So everyone's comfortable in different environments. For me, the easiest kind of content to make is literally sitting here in front of a camera with something ready to go. I can do that. I've also done stuff where, where I'm traveling, I'm at an event and I'll film things, but I find it a little bit more forced to walk around Casey Neistat style with a camera like, hey, I do it from time to time. And I don't find it too bad, but I'm definitely not strong in that area as I am sitting in front of the desk. And I heard another creator I really respect, a guy called Tom Buck, who's another audio guy on YouTube. And he recently went, I think, to NAB in Las Vegas. And in one of his videos, he said, I went round and I did this creation thing and I found it really hard going around and filming things and just walking up to booths and like holding a camera and stuff. So just find what you're confident with and roll with that. And if it is initially a faceless channel where it's just your voice, start that way and get feedback. That's better. So find your style. You will find that certain types of content are easier and a better fit for you than other types, and double down on that. And if you don't feel comfortable rolling around with a camera and a microphone and sticking it in people's faces, don't do it, or don't do it often.
That is so good. Thank you for sharing that, Mike, because some people they just feel they have to do it the way other people do it. And you don't. You just have to find a way that works for you. And I just had a bit of an epiphany moment there, Mike, because I've thought there's been something wrong with me because I don't like to do that. And I've seen all these content creators at events like Social Media Marketing World or whatever. And I'm going to a big event later this year and I'm thinking, oh, I need to bring my camera. I need to interview people. And that just fills me with anxiety. I'm thinking, I don't have to do that. So you don't have to. There are probably ways to help that and make it better, but to make it more easy. But yeah, that's really helpful information. So just before we finish, what's your word of encouragement to listeners aiming to improve their confidence and communication skills? Because they've got a message, they just want to get in front of the camera, but there's something stopping them. What would you say?
Yeah, just get it done. Do it in your style. So this is a brilliant point to end on, because you're saying about going around shoving a microphone in people's faces. If you're not confident with that, sign up to Ecamm or StreamYard or Riverside and blast out 5 emails to your mates who are in the space that you want to cover and say, will you come on my new little podcast and do it remotely. That's far better than shoving a mic in someone's face. And you can sit with your cup of tea in the comfort of your own studio and talk to that person and create something. So find your style and do it and take action. And in terms of starting, again, I recently grateful to have had you on my new podcast for my new YouTube channel. And again, I was questioning, I was like, anyone want to be on this podcast? Am I going to do anything different to the rest of them? But I was just like, I'm going to find 5 people that I know. I like them. I hope they like me too. And I'm going to send that email and say, please come on my show. And do you know what? I got 5 yeses back. So happy days, right?
Yeah, and it wasn't just a yes. I was as soon as you told me about this podcast and would I like to be on it? I thought, oh yeah, that was what I was thinking. This sounds amazing, and yeah, we just recorded that, and I'm very excited about listening to this. Is that out now? Can people can listen to this new podcast?
Yeah, I'm sure by the time this show goes
Yeah,
live, it will be. And you just need to find the Creator Magic YouTube channel. It'll be on there
yeah.
and everywhere else, Spotify. So just subscribe in your favorite podcast show. Yeah.
Yeah, we're recording this a few months before this comes out, so I'm sure it will be out. Thank you, Mike. It's been awesome to have you back on the show. How can people find out more about you and connect with you? Are you on the socials? Tell listeners how they can find out more about you.
Thanks, Ian. It's been a pleasure to be on the show. At Mike Russell. That's Mike Russell with the letter I in front of it on most social media. I'm on X, Instagram, all those places. And then just type my name into YouTube, Mike Russell, or Creator Magic if you want to find the new YouTube channel, and I'll see you there.
Sounds great. Thanks, Mike. It's been awesome. Great conversation today. We are out of time again. My goodness, it goes so quickly. Thank you so much for plugging us into your ears or watching us on YouTube. It's been great. Until next time, I encourage you to level up your impact, authority, and profits through the power of Confident Live Video. See you soon. Bye.
Thanks for watching the Confident Live Marketing Show with Ian Anderson Gray.
Make sure you subscribe at iag.me/podcast so you can continue to level up your impact, authority, and profits through the power of live video.
And until next time,
Toodaloo.